See what this baby's got inside it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Brett from Hapticast Intro here. Me and the guys are over in Oaks, Pennsylvania.
We suck you off, Phil.
Oh, Josh, I hear screaming.
Oh no!
It's gone. The controller's gone.
Look at that. You look fucking fantastic.
Welcome to Haptic HQ.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hapticast, episode number 47. My name is Josh Tull, and I am joined by my good friends Brett Roberts and our AI companion HBot. As always, hello Brett, hello HBot. I almost forgot what episode number it was, hence why I hesitated when we started.
You did good. You saved it. What's going on?
So, what's going on with you? How are you?
Doing all right. Having some trouble here at the homestead, but
Trouble at the homestead? What's wrong, Lassie?
Yeah. Well, my side of the HQ has some electrical issues. And
oh, right. Yeah, as we saw.
The AC is only working on your side of the HQ now, so...
I know. Well, here's the thing. HBot knows I'm the strict one of us, too, so she's been doing some stuff for me on the side. That sounded really bad.
Well, I was going to chime in with something even worse, so...
Oh,
that was pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm very hot and very sweaty. Long day. It's a Monday.
It is a Monday, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, well, Brett, first things first, some housekeeping stuff before we really get into it. Merch, it's available now. You can see it in the screens running behind us, the advertisement, and also on me right now.
On your body.
So I'm wearing it. This is our snapback hat and our regular t-shirt. I don't actually know the names of those items, but they're available for you now.
Yeah, that's the Haptic logo tee and Haptic logo snapback, I think. And then we have the Haptic Weeaboo or Weeb collection as well, which is the same style of hat and shirt, but with a Japanese logo. Right. And then there's a special limited edition kawaii variant of that shirt.
Yeah.
So
yeah, all of which you'll be seeing on the show or on one of our streams or somewhere. Or if you see us at Best Buy or something like that, you'll see it on
that
us.
was a deep cut.
That was a deep cut. Literally only a couple of people in the world will understand that. I don't even remember the name of the person, one of them that would remember that. So, yeah, anyway. So our topic rundown. First of all, we have the Abysmal Chronicles for you, as we always do. A bunch of nice little news segments that we are not going to turn into full topics. Today we were going to be talking about in main topics GeForce Now, and NVIDIA's GeForce Now, and some leaks with that. Some big leaks, maybe, potentially, but still worth noting, talking about. A massive PlayStation Experience event has been leaked for December 2021, potentially. More to come on that, obviously. And then we're going to be rounding off our main topics. We're talking about young horses and how they are moving to a 4-day work week to kind of talk about and revisit some of our conversations about crunch and stuff.
Young Horses being the developers of Bugsnax.
That's right. So. Talking about Bugsnax. And then our indie intel this week, a game called Poppy Playtime over on Kickstarter that we will be talking about. Those are our main topics, Brett.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, before we jump into the media consumption update, I just want to reiterate, we are live right now.
Oh, my God. That's right. We are. I forgot.
So if you're watching us live, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on replay, thank you for joining us. We're live right now on YouTube and Twitch. That's right. We're opening up our chat. If you guys want to add to the discussion and give your thoughts about anything we're talking about, please do so. And you can also do that in the comment section of the video after this goes up. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Brett, media consumption update.
Yep.
Why don't you go first?
Yeah, Josh. Well, I'll start with some things that I did and watched and played by myself, and then we can jump into some things that we played and watched together. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
And then we'll transition into yours.
Okay.
So, number one, I've been watching a show. It's on Stars. It's called Heels.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe we are in the HQ right now, correct?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So you can see right behind me, we have the AEW World Championship. You know that I'm a huge fan of wrestling. So the show Heels is a wrestling show. It's a drama. Stephen Amell is the creator and star of the show. He's known as Arrow, Green Arrow on CW.
Oh,
Huge wrestling fan.
wow.
Huge wrestling fan.
Okay.
And the show is fantastic. I am on episode 5. It's episodic, so
There's just
unfortunately,
one season so far.
yeah, but it's episodic, so not everything's out yet.
Gotcha.
We're still waiting for episode 6 next week.
Mhm.
It's fantastic. It explores behind the scenes of wrestling, and it's a small town wrestling promotion in Duffy, Georgia, trying to stay afloat in a world where there is a WWE essentially. And you can kind of see where it's going, where potentially they will grow, and then where they're going to go from there. There's 2 brothers that are dueling, and
Two
one's a face
brothers.
and one's a heel. Yeah, 2 brothers. One's a face and one's a heel, which in wrestling terminology is one's a good guy, one's a bad guy. And you start to see that maybe the guy who's playing the good guy isn't such a good guy, and he should be the heel. And that's kind of where
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's good. So I recommend it. Heels on Stars or SlickTube if you have access to SlickTube.
Yeah, only a few people watching this.
That's right.
But DM us for more information about that.
I'm trying to think of like any other games that I played or shows that I watched alone. Rick and Morty, I finished that, which I know you did as well.
I did not finish it. I fell asleep on the second to last episode last night, but I'll be finishing that tonight.
Thought it was a pretty weak season overall, but
Yes.
comparatively. But
you know what there's becoming?
what's that?
If I start to think about what the formula of a show is while I'm watching the show, I no longer like the show.
Understandable.
And they break it a little bit with the one episode where Rick's like leaving, quote unquote, with the crows, and then immediately the next episode they break it, and it's like, okay, so we're just watching the same thing over and over and over again with different contexts, and the cuteness of it, and the look at this Mr. Poopy Butthole, and look at this trash eater, ooh, garbage, I like garbage, and all this stuff. It's like I'm watching the same thing.
I agree. So, although whatever his name is, Garbage Eater, was awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%, I agree.
So I honestly don't know what else like I watched. I played a couple of like smaller like older games, like retro games. My dad got this arcade joystick game thing from like a little Dinky Mart.
Dinky Mart.
Yeah, like a farmer's market, or like a swap meet, or I don't know what the word. I don't want to say the actual name of the place, but
yeah. Well, let
one
me
of
tell you
those-
something though. I like the name Dinky Mart. We just copyrighted it and trademarked it right now. That's actually
Okay.
that's what our merch store is called, Dinky Mart.
Dinky Mart. Okay. So my dad went to Dinky Mart and he got one of these like bootleg game consoles that you just hook up to your TV, and it has these like Bluetooth giant arcade joysticks.
Mhm.
So I was over there playing some classic arcade games, and it was actually kind of cool because I was able to tell him like, all right, that game's trash. Okay, this version of Mortal Kombat's better than this version of Mortal Kombat. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was kind of helping him build out his like favorites list of games.
Yeah.
I showed him Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, which he thought was hilarious. And he was surprised that I knew what it was. And he thought it was hilarious that you have to rescue little children and then they go, Michael. So he thought that was funny.
That is funny.
So yeah.
In a morbid kind of way, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said, Dad, you got to see this. And I loaded up Michael Jackson Moonwalker, and he's like, oh, this is cool. The music's good. And then I started showing him the moveset where Michael like kicks and throws his hat. And I was like, so the best part about this game is that you're playing as Michael Jackson rescuing little children that yell, Michael, when you pick them up. And he was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, you do. And I showed him. So,
yeah.
So yeah, Dinky Mart, the Dinky Mart Chronicles happened. And then that's it. So on to things that you and I did together that we can kind of delve into at the same time.
Please.
We watched Malignant, which is a horror film that just came out.
Malignant, dude. As in it's slick, as in it's good.
Malignant nuts. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
It was more than good. I loved it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie of the year thus far.
It's probably the best horror movie I've seen this year. So it's different. It's not what you expect. If you're expecting it to be The Conjuring or Insidious, it's not, even though it's advertised as such.
Mm-hmm.
So don't watch it if you're not a fan of horror movies, like a legit fan, because it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah, it is. We talked about this already, but it is made for a few sets of people. A, you like campy horror movies. B, you like old giallo style slasher movies from Italy. B, you like both of them. And then the other group is people that don't like any of that stuff, in which case this movie is not made for you.
Yeah.
So,
And you'll see that if you look at the critic score and then the audience score, they're so different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's totally fine that this is polarizing because, whatever. But I mean, I loved it. It is, first of all, one of the slickest weapons I think we've ever seen in a movie. It's just slick looking. The twist, while predictable, because we did, doesn't even matter, really.
Well, it was predictable, but almost like there's no way that's possibly it because it's so fucking out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it actually was, and we were like, okay, they went there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then they really lean into that, and then they really go there, and the fight sequences, everything. It's awesome. And a lot of people were talking about it on Twitter, and I agree. It's like James Wan took all of his, studio good boy points for making some of the biggest horror franchises and doing Aquaman, and was like, WB, I'm cashing in the Money in the Bank, and that's it.
And he won the world championship with this one.
Yeah. So
so we did that. We also, and if I'm forgetting something, please feel free to chime in. We played Zombie Army Trilogy. We finally beat the final level.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, that game, if you want to see my review, you got to go to GG app, user Brett Rob, to get the full review.
Links in the description at your link tree.
Links in the description on my link tree. But I will say a little snippet is that game is slick. It oozes slickness.
Mm-hmm.
And the soundtrack and atmosphere alone make it a 10 out of 10. But it's not a perfect game. Mm-hmm. Clearly, it started off as a mod for another game, and that shows.
Yeah.
And the story is not important, but not great.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very fun time. And if you have friends and you like that kind of stuff, definitely play it.
Yeah. I'm excited to play Zat 4 to see.
Not Zat anymore.
Well,
because that was Zombie Army Trilogy, and it's no longer the.
Well, whatever.
Zombie Army 4.
Yeah, that one. I'm excited to play that to see what they actually can do when they make something from the ground up. I've heard very good things, and I'm glad we finally went back and beat that. Yeah,
me too. Besides that, we are playing Demon Souls again with a friend.
Oh, yeah.
That's kicking our ass. So
New Game Plus is no joke. It's funny because we're playing with our buddy Sean, and we destroy things in his world. I mean, it's not fair. And we will carry him through the game like true warriors. And then we play New Game Plus with each other, and it's not good.
It is harder than the first time we played, which I guess is the whole point of New Game Plus.
Yeah,
so.
But we really got to do some leveling, which is good because we're getting to an area where my character specifically will level a lot, which is down in the mines. There's one area that I will just do over and 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 over again. So
because they're weak to magic. So
that's true.
Yeah. And besides that, I mean, I really can't think of anything else.
We've been playing Splitgate still.
Yeah, Splitgate. Getting annoying, but still a cool concept for a game.
Apex.
Always.
I honestly am thinking I don't have anything else to add.
Well, are you sure?
I can't think. I think I watched. I'm rewatching Dexter, the show Dexter. Trying to because there's a new season coming out. I want to say I watched a couple of things. I don't remember. I probably, but I don't know.
Well, I know one thing that we watched together that we didn't mention.
What's that?
If you're ready to move on, that is.
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, Josh, then I think it's time for us to jump into the Abysmal Chronicles.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Because last week, you and I together watched PlayStation Showcase.
It's true. We did. Wow.
And I think it's time for us to run through every single goddamn thing we saw.
All right, let's do it.
So listen, first of all, totally wrong about almost all of the predictions I made and rumors that I thought we were going to see.
That's right.
So that's number one. Number two. Okay. So we got a possible RE4 remake tease that was shown off. So they started off with this crazy intro that seemingly had nothing to do with games, but they had little like game references hidden throughout.
Yeah.
One of them was the Los Illuminados symbol from Resident Evil 4. So there's all these references and rumors and conspiracies now that there's going to be a Resident Evil 4 remake coming very soon, which we know it's in production, but seemingly it's very far off.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that. Now let's move on to the actual announcements beyond the little trailer we got. So Josh, Knights of the Old Republic remake for PlayStation 5 and PC.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
This blew my mind. This was really not something I was expecting at all. Out of everything else in here, well, this and Wolverine, but I mean, this for me, I am super excited. I love KOTOR. If you remember, it made my top games of all time. So if you haven't seen those videos, check them out. They're on the channel. There's a whole playlist for it. And yeah, as you could see in my reaction when we watched it, I lost my mind. I was very happy, which, by the way, we streamed this whole thing. So if you didn't watch that, go check out our reactions. Maybe we'll do a highlight video at some point in the near future. But yeah, slick.
Yeah, that was a good one. I've never played that game, so I'm very excited. I wasn't really a Star Wars fan when those games were around, so I'm excited. Then we got Gran Turismo. Actually, I don't think this is in order of what we saw.
Nah, it's a little out of order.
That's fine. We saw Gran Turismo with a really weird trailer with like Castlevania music. Truly did not give a shit about this game, but it's coming March 4th for PS4 and PS5. So we're finally getting a good-looking racing game on PlayStation.
Yeah, hopefully racing fans are excited for that one.
Yeah. Then we got Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy coming to PS5 and PC.
Yeah. I think PC is the bigger news there, which is great. What doesn't make sense there is that PC doesn't have access to Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, or Uncharted 3. So what the fuck? PlayStation with that one. But yeah, cool, I guess. I would play Uncharted 4 again. I'd play Lost Legacy again. But at this point, I'd want to play 1 through 3 again, too, because it's been so long since I have played them. But cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll get another Platinum Trophy. Why not?
All right. We got a trailer for a game called Chia. I think is how you pronounce it.
Chia Pets. That's correct.
In which a girl, well, it's actually funny because it seems like you are a little girl that can control and become almost like Mario Odyssey, these little pets or little creatures.
Yeah. This was the indie darling of the PlayStation Showcase, if you will.
Yeah, didn't get me. I think the trailer was way too long.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be cool, but wasn't really a standout for me.
And you know what, Josh? I think that is a common thread here is that a lot of these things that were shown off at I was going to call it PSX, but PlayStation Showcase, a lot of the trailers were just too damn long.
Oh, yeah. Especially Deathloop.
Yeah, which is what I'm going to get to next. Deathloop, which we're going to be talking about in just a little bit. They had a huge trailer for this game that was coming out in, 5 days after the event?
Yeah.
So they were just trying to get every little bit of views, I guess, on this game as possible.
Yeah. Comes out this week, so...
Yeah. Then we got Blood Hunt, which I believe is Vampire Masquerade.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. There was a beta, right? Free?
Yeah, we had a friend that played it, said it was poop.
Yeah. Save before quitting. Shout out to them, Christian. He said it was no good, so...
Yep. Well, first he was hyping it up, and then 10 minutes later, he was like, this game's poop.
Yep.
So. We got another trailer for Guardians.
Yeah, more in-depth story look.
Yeah, more in-depth story look, but I got to tell you, this trailer was the weakest of what we've seen so far, which isn't really good to say.
I got to be honest with you. I want this game, and I want it to be good, and it could be good, but then you look a little deeper, Brett, and you look at who's publishing it and who is developing it, and you're like, wait a minute, didn't you just do a Marvel property that was complete shit and was bumbled and sucked? And then you think to yourself, I'm not going to buy it at launch, because if you buy it at launch, then you're a hypocrite.
Yep. So, absolutely. This is definitely a wait and see.
Yeah, this is a wait and see, and Square. Thin ice.
Yeah. Then we got a rather extensive look at Ghostwire Tokyo, which has been quite a while since we've seen that.
Yeah, and I still don't understand what it is, except that it looks like BioShock.
Looks like BioShock, for sure. Yes. It's in Japanese, Tokyo. It looks
Tokyo
kind of
Drift,
cool.
right?
Yeah, Tokyo Drift. It looks kind of cool. Then a big one, Alan Wake remastered, coming October 5th, very soon. And Josh, I'm assuming good time to play it, October. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that game, again, made my top games of all time list. Go check those videos if you haven't, and look at my list on GG. That game is slick. It's incredible. It's more relevant than any time before. It is connected to other games in Remedy's universe, which today, by the way, was officially confirmed to be connected universe, same world, by Remedy, by Mr.
Nice.
Sam Lake himself. People were freaking out, myself included. Good game. Excited to play. I'm going to platinum it. I'm going to suck it off. And I was thinking too, Brett, and we could talk about this later, but maybe it's the next long-form video we do. Something about Alan Wake.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know.
All right, I like that. And maybe your boy will play it and beat it. How long is it? It's not long, right?
Probably anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, maybe.
That's not bad.
Maybe shorter than that.
Maybe I'll bang it out real quick, and I'll have some input as well. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, GTA 5 was shown off again, and it is now that trailer for GTA 5 on PlayStation 5 is one of PlayStation's most disliked videos ever on YouTube, sitting at 104K dislikes and only 24K likes.
When you get to be a decade after launch and you're still milking it, much like Skyrim, you're bound to receive some criticism. Next point.
It was a really bad trailer, regardless of all of that. At least when it came to PS4, there was a couple of new additions to the game. There's nothing new. It's the same game. So they didn't even highlight any graphical upgrades, anything. It's just a bad trailer.
Poopy doop.
Yeah. Rainbow Six Extraction, which we kind of knew a little bit about before this. It was very heavily impacted, the development, by the pandemic, unfortunately. They kind of had to change a lot of the graphics and visuals and themes of the game because it was a little too close to home with the actual COVID-19 pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going for more like an alien thing rather than like a viral thing, which is kind of what it was supposed to be in the beginning. So that I actually am not interested in that simply because of that, because I think they should have just stuck to their guns. So it's just my thoughts.
No input.
It's fair. We got another look at Forspoken, which, is shaping up to be pretty cool. And I'm liking what I see. Our good friend Steven Heavenstreet, who used to be a host on the show with us, he made a comment that he said, a lot of people on Twitter, and he seemed to agree that the game it would be cooler if it was set in Final Fantasy's universe because it is a Square Enix game. Who knows? Maybe it will.
I don't know.
Maybe they're holding off.
I'm interested to check it out because of the team behind it and the writing team and who's developing it and all that. So,
yeah, they did Final Fantasy 15.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love Final Fantasy 15, so I'm with you there. The next game they showed off was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which, quite frankly, I have no interest in Borderlands anymore. But if anything was going to get me back, it's this. So,
quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
There you go. Project Eve, which is what started the show, if I remember correctly, looks like ass, in my opinion. It looks like Nier and Bayonetta fused together, and it doesn't know what it wants to be, and it doesn't know what it wants to do, and quite frankly, it looks bad. And that's my take.
Looks like another Japanese action RPG.
Yeah. So sorry if you're a big fan of Project Eve, but it's not doing it for me. All right. The big ones, Josh. Spider-Man 2 was shown off, and we were given a release year of 2023. It seems as if we're going to be able to play as Peter and Miles, and we're going to be able to switch between the two. Kraven the Hunter is apparently Villain 1. And as shown in the trailer, Venom is Villain 2.
Adrenaline Venom.
Venom.
Yeah, that was another big reveal, and is slick. And Tony Todd is Venom, which is slick, cool. And I am ready for that game.
Yeah, but Josh, Insomniac wasn't done with that, so they said we just put out a banger Ratchet and Clank. We just put out a banger Spider-Man spinoff Miles Morales game, and before that, we put out Spider-Man, PlayStation Marvel Spider-Man.
Right.
We're going to do another Marvel property that no one knows about, and it's going to be a character that a lot of people suck off. And you know what it is? It's Wolverine.
Brett, it is Wolverine. And here's the thing. besides how slick this announcement is, right?
Mhm.
The fact that they are creating their own universe, right? Insomniac is. Two big things from this. First, it shows that Marvel really, really trusts Insomniac.
Yeah.
Like, really trusts Insomniac. And two, it shows that Insomniac is PlayStation's most important studio. They might not be the best. They might not be the most refined or mainstream, but they're the most important. And they have to be the biggest. I mean, like, at a head count level. Because just look at their previous releases. Every year, every other year, twice a year. Dude, they have to have at least 3 or 4 teams operating at once, and they are PlayStation's most important studio. That's it.
It's the workhorse.
That's it.
What do you think about Wolverine?
Just a CG trailer. I'll keep my expectations in check, but I'm excited. Be interested
Possibly.
to see how it plays.
Yes, definitely. We are kind of looking like we are going to be almost getting a Insomniac, Marvel universe, like video game universe, where all these things are connected. So maybe we get a proper Avengers game down the line. But interesting to note, Wolverine is he is an X-Men, which is formerly Fox, right?
Yes, but remains under the umbrella of Sony.
But it's Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we'll see Hulk show up. I know that was rumored. So that'd be really cool too.
Yeah.
All right. And then the big one. We finally got a big look at God of War Ragnarok. No release date on this one, but goddamn, this game looks fucking awesome.
Looks good. That is my biggest thing, is that why do we not have a release date yet?
Yeah. Well, I think they're afraid. COVID happened and, they had to constantly push stuff back. But rest assured, Josh, I mean, listen, I know we don't have a date, but the fact that we got such an extensive look at the game, I don't think it's too far away. I see early, definitely before summer of 2022.
Yeah, probably.
But,
yeah,
we got a look at, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I believe it's Angrboda,
Mhm.
who is Loki's love interest and the mother of basically like Jormungandr, the serpent, world serpent.
Mhm.
So that's an interesting thing. She's a child, so I don't know how she's going to give birth.
She's about Loki's age.
Atreus's age, yeah.
Loki's age.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, like,
alert.
Ragnarok is like a big time thing, and that's kind of where all this stuff happens. Is like there's a big time skip.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a potential for all that to be explained.
Right.
There's actually human being NPCs in the villages now, which is really cool. First time we're seeing that in God of War, in this God of War iteration. So yeah, I'm fucking excited for this game, and yeah, God of War, PlayStation 4 was that number 1 for both of us or number 2? I think that was number 2.
Number 2, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So fantastic.
Yep.
All right, so that's all we got for PlayStation Showcase. We were wrong with all of our predictions, and it was a pretty good show. And our connection sucked, and the stream was bad. But thank you for watching, and all that. So next up in the Abysmal Chronicles, Josh, we have a couple more things here. Deathloop gets sucked. Deathloop has now become the highest-rated non-remade PS5 game to date.
I love
Solid
that.
9s.
I love that you read my title that I wrote in there that wasn't supposed to be publicized.
I read it, and of course I'm going to say it out loud.
Okay.
Deathloop is getting solid 9s and 10s across the board, to my surprise, which I did not expect, Josh.
Yeah.
I thought I'd give you guys a list of the highest scoring PS5 games so far. Here's the list. Number 1 is Hades with a 93, and that is a port. 2 is Demon Souls with a 92, which is a remake. 3 is Tony Hawk 1 and 2 Remake, which is a 90, and like I said, a remake. And Deathloop is number 4 with a 90, and it is an original game. And the game after that is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for PS5, which is an 89, and it's a remake. So.
Well, Arcane back to doing what they're doing, making good games that unfortunately are not for me.
It didn't look like it'd be for me, but maybe when it's on sale for like $20, I'll suck it off.
Although I saw in one of the reviews, which I found very interesting, Brett, is that there is an element in the game where people can join your world as you're playing and act as like enemies, NPCs, and somebody compared it to being akin to Left 4 Dead's survival mode.
Yeah, it almost sounds like getting invaded in Dark Souls as well.
Yeah, that too. So I thought that was interesting. I hope it's not annoying, but anyway.
Yeah. All right, next up, Nintendo lowers the Switch price ahead of the OLED model's release.
Yep.
So Nintendo is lowering the price of its base Switch model across Europe ahead of the OLED version's launch next month.
Mm-hmm.
The Nintendo Switch is now priced at €299 in Europe, down €30 from the previous $329 pricing. In the UK, Nintendo has adjusted the base model to $259 or euros, whatever their fucking currency is. Really
UK is pounds.
Pounds, down $20 from the previous £279. Nintendo actually made a comment. They talked to Verge. They said, after carefully weighing up a variety of factors, including currency exchange rates in Europe and the upcoming launch of Nintendo Switch OLED model, we decided that now was the appropriate time to change the European trade price of the Nintendo Switch.
You're right there?
So, yeah, I was throwing on my
Nintendo
voice.
You just read it like a robot.
I was trying to do a businessman robot spokesperson reply.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
not really a lot though.
No, I hope they do it in North America for people. Who knows? Probably not, because North America is well, let's just say inflation is bad, and we're approaching a bubble, and things are going to be bad in North America. Anyway.
Next up, Kojima's being Kojima. Hideo Kojima wants to make games that are different for every player. Of course he does. Kojima says, I want to create a game that changes in real time. Kojima told Siliconera. Even though there are people of different ages and trades playing the same game, they're playing it in the same way. Continuing, the developer said he wants the game to change based on where the person lives and that person's unique perspective, which I don't know what that means, but
hey, man.
Sounds good. I compared this off screen. We were talking about this, and I compared it to Kanye West releasing albums as they constantly evolve and change, and the tracks are never the same from when they first started to the end. A lot of bands did this, a lot of musicians did this, so I can see this, happening.
I want Kojima to make whatever he wants. I just go ahead, dude. You got it.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So Epic wins their lawsuit, but also loses their lawsuit.
Yeah.
Epic lost on just about every count and will have to pay millions of dollars. However, now Apple has to let apps... Oh, yeah, this is about Fortnite and the in-game currency, by the way. Apple now has to let apps use external payment processors, such as like a Fortnite in-game store. Epic will be appealing the findings. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Well, the one big thing there is that, Apple lost one of the biggest parts, which was the fact that they have to let people use external payment processors now, but Epic has to pay a lot of money to Apple, and Apple is going to potentially lose billions of dollars anyway. So
and you know what, Josh? I say thank you, Epic. I'm not a huge fan of you and your policies or your game, but thank you, because this will impact many other developers, many other games in the future moving forward. And I'm sure if anyone has the millions to put forward to make this happen, it was you. So it couldn't have happened to a better studio.
That's right. So, Brett, it might be a little bit late into the show now, but before we hop into our main topics, there's one more thing that needs to happen.
That's right. What was it? HBot, roll the intro.
HBot, I gotta tell you something. If you ruin that again, if you fuck up the intro one more time, you're done. That's it. You're done. How dare you? Brett's transition was so slick and you ruined it.
It's all right. I just stood there. I didn't realize something happened, so we're good.
Well, let's just say she went to a black screen when she wasn't supposed to. So,
All right.
anyway. All right, Brett, our main topics. Let's hop into them, shall we? We're in the theater. It's nice and cool down here on my side. She still has not fixed your side.
I'm hot.
Well, you certainly are. Okay. Our first main topic, Brett, as you can see behind us, GeForce has leaked. So this is a rumor, comes from Push Square. Not really
GeForce? GeForce has leaked. What does that mean?
Let me add some context. This is not technically a rumor because this stuff exists, and we're going to talk and then speculate on those things that already exist. So this comes from Push Square, obviously, that you can see behind me. The rumor is that a gigantic GeForce leak goes nuclear. Hints at all kinds of unannounced games, PS5 titles linked to PC. So let me give you some background, Brett, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, please.
This person, Igor July, this is his personal...
That sounds like a fake name.
It does. Probably is. His website's up behind me. Basically, he found a way to open up GeForce Now's database and look at its contents. For those of you that don't know, GeForce Now is NVIDIA's streaming service. So it's kind of akin to xCloud in the sense that it processes gaming on, powerful PCs at like a server location, and then you stream it to your device, your computer in this case. So titles may or may not come out, but the data is credible, and you can go look at the contents yourself, either on his website, or if you have the wherewithal, he lists instructions on how he did it, so you could go do that if you wanted to. So basically, Brett, what I wanted to do is kind of go through some of the games that were cataloged in this leak. Okay?
Yeah, go through it.
Ready?
What's his name again? Oscar November? What is it?
Igor July.
Okay, Igor July.
But I'm going to be looking at a Reddit post from user turn that off. Last Grail on Reddit. Yeah, Last Grail on Reddit. This person kind of cataloged all of these games so that we can take a look at them together. Okay, so for Sony, this could take years for these games to come to PC, and I don't think any of these are particularly that surprising. But basically, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Edition, so that would include Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, I believe. Correct?
Okay, yep.
Helldivers 2, Horizon Forbidden West.
Helldivers, quickly, Helldivers was actually mentioned on the intro for the PlayStation Showcase. We talked about in the top of the pod how the Resident Evil logo was there.
Yeah.
The one next to it on the other side of the elevator was actually the Helldivers logo.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
that could be
interesting. Yep.
Yeah. So Helldivers, Horizon Forbidden West, which isn't out yet, but would make sense. GT7, so Gran Turismo 7. Daracini? Daracine? I have no idea what that is.
Daracine, if I remember correctly, was actually made by From Software. It is a VR game. Yes. So Daracine is a virtual reality adventure game developed by From Software and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, released for PSVR.
Gotcha. God of War, 2018, I'm assuming. Returnal, Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank, Sackboy Big Adventure, Ghost of Tsushima. So those are just kind of already released PlayStation titles that would make sense to make their way to PC, I think. At this point, if Sony continues their same kind of, whatever shtick.
They've been releasing PlayStation exclusive games on PC many months after they release.
That's right. And this user, whatever the person's name was, I forget at this point, whatever I just said, Last Grail, noted that there is no Bloodborne, Spider-Man, or Last of Us, Last Guardian, Gravity Rush, etc. listed above. So
the best ones, dude.
In it. So again, not that this means that they are coming to PC, but a lot of these ones, specifically for PlayStation, make sense. I think where I take pause is some of these ones that haven't been released yet, like Horizon Forbidden West and Gran Turismo 7. I also think Returnal might be hard to port to PC given how much it utilizes the haptic controls, but I guess you translate that to a mouse and keyboard, you just pick different keys for it. So I don't know. I guess whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about this all the time, but PlayStation did acquire Nixes, the studio that does a lot of PC ports.
Yeah.
So, a lot of these games could already be being worked on right now by Nixes.
Yeah, and that's probably why. I mean, they see the financial benefit they gain from putting their games to PC. So why not have a studio dedicated just to like, hey, here's delivery of the next first party game before it even comes out. Here's the gold code, port it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Microsoft listings, Gears 6.
Is that even confirmed?
Hasn't even been announced yet. And then Oxide, unannounced. I don't know. Project Holland, which is supposed to be Fable.
Tom Holland?
No, Project Holland, which is supposed to be Fable. Project Typhoon, which is supposed to be Contraband. Project Woodstock, which is supposed to be Forza. Untitled, the Initiative game, which Xbox acquired. Halo 5 Guardians, which would make sense. Avowed, Kalimba.
Kalimba is a really shitty game.
Okay. Indus and Gravity. I don't know. Some of these...
It's a lot of big ones.
It is. Gear 6, I mean, already makes sense, though. I don't know why it would be listed on GeForce, since it's an Xbox game, but...
So the only big ones there, in my opinion, are the ones that are unannounced games, right? Because it's typical that a lot of Xbox's first-party games do come to PC anyway.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, like, Halo 5 Guardians, it's, like, not exciting to hear that. But when you hear, Gears, you're like, wait, we didn't even know that was coming. So that's the big one there.
Right, yeah. And then some of these other, potential Fable, Contraband, Forza.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We knew a lot of that's coming, so.
Yeah. Square Enix, Chrono Cross Remaster. No idea. Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy IX Remake. Final Fantasy 16, which is confirmed only for PlayStation thus far, I believe. Tomb Raider Anniversary, unannounced title by Square Enix, and Kingdom Hearts 4.
Kingdom Hearts 4? That's not a thing. No Forspoken.
No. And Final Fantasy IX Remake, too.
Yeah,
which stand out.
They're not even done 7 yet.
Right. So that's some of these that give me pause where I'm like, would NVIDIA have access to this information so far in advance? Maybe to work on listings or...
I'm looking up Final Fantasy IX right now because I don't even think that that's one of like the...
It hasn't been announced.
No, I know, but I don't even think it's one of like the big... I mean, I remember people saying it's like a good one, and it's
well, I thought originally there was a rumor years ago that like they wanted to do 7, 8, and 9. So I don't know. I know Final Fantasy X10 is a good one. Mm-hmm. I know that 8 is a really popular one. The characters in that, get slicked off. Mm-hmm. So yeah, 9 is just a weird one, I think personally, but I don't know.
Not a fan of that series. So.
From Capcom, Resident Evil 4 remake, which we talked about at the top of the show. Street Fighter 6, which hasn't been announced, I don't believe. They're only up to 5, correct?
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma 2. And Monster Hunter 6.
Which could be Worlds 2. It could be another weird Switch game. You never know.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's way more than I thought. I'm gonna start blowing through these. Take-Two, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters.
Yep, that's rumored.
Yeah. BioShock TRX remaster.
What's that?
I have no idea.
Is that BioShock the collection?
Oh yeah, the Redux, whatever. BioShock 2022, which has been a rumor for a while.
That's soon.
That there's going to be another BioShock game. I don't think it's 2022, but maybe it's just a placeholder. Hopefully a new BioShock. EA, Mirror's Edge remaster. This says RTX nice. Remaster, but it's a remaster. RTX because of NVIDIA. Untitled Respawn game. And then Titanfall 3.
Wow, that'd be a big one.
I want a Titanfall 3.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the Untitled Respawn game and Titanfall 3 are one and the same.
Or it's Jedi Fallen Order 2.
That would be slick too. Bandai Namco, Tekken 8. Again, unannounced, nothing yet. Curve Digital, Human Fall Flat 2. Okay. Devolver Digital, Talos Principle 2. That has not been announced yet. First Talos Principle was free on PS Plus. Kevin Hall says in the chat, damn, new BioShock. Yeah, potentially. It's been rumored for a while. I out of everything for Take-Two there, that would be the one I'd be most interested in. GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas Remastered. It's 2, I guess, but BioShock specifically would be slick. All right, Curve. I just read that. I read that. Crytek, Crisis 4, again unannounced. D3, Publisher Inc., Earth Defense Force 6.
Wow, Earth Defense Force.
Yeah, that's been dormant for a while. Sega, Bayonetta 3, which
Rumored
this
for
one,
a million years.
but
They announced it
on PC though.
Dude, that game's never coming out. The
Yeah.
voice actress just said like she's done. She's like, I'm retiring.
Yeah. Well, they probably like, okay, we need you to do all of this.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, we need you to redo all of this. Also, Judgment, which this person says seems odd to him on the post, and it seems odd to me too, because that's been a...
There's a sequel coming.
Yeah, no. Atlas, Catherine Full Body, Shinigami Tensei 5. No Persona 5 of note, but Atlas games make sense, considering the popularity of Persona 4 Golden that they just released.
Yep.
WB, Batman Arkham Knight Remaster for RTX Remaster, so NVIDIA. Valve, Half-Life 2 Remastered. That would be popular.
That'd be a good one to launch with a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I agree. And then last one here, from Paradox Project FPS.
Don't know it. Cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, take all this with a huge grain of salt. Take it with a huge grain of salt. A huge grain of salt. I just thought it was interesting, and the fact that somebody was able to get in and do this. So, again, this code and this information exists, right? But doesn't necessarily mean all of them are going to be released or that they're actually ever going to see the light of day, and especially not on PC necessarily either. So,
yeah.
Anything to add to that, Brett?
No, there's a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't trust GeForce with that kind of information. I think Xbox did it right by using like project names, which a lot of these studios probably should be doing. But yeah, man, I love this kind of stuff. It gets you excited. It gets you, thinking about what's going to come. If we get a BioShock game in 2022, like that's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So,
I can't. I mean,
who knows? Crazier shits happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our next main topic, Brett.
Yeah, let's move on to another very speculative, rumor-based topic here.
Okay,
so we just had the PlayStation Showcase last week where we saw a lot of cool games, a lot of things got revealed, a lot of release dates. But now we're looking towards the future with PlayStation. Josh, a massive PlayStation Experience event has leaked for December of 2021.
That's correct.
According to a new leak, there's a PlayStation Experience event coming this December to finish the year with a bang. The leak comes from Reddit user air_radiant, who, Josh, of note, has accurately predicted the date of the recent PlayStation Showcase that just went live, and also confirmed PlayStation's acquisition of Housemarque early before they actually announced it themselves.
Yep, that's right.
So this guy's got some chops. He's gotten some things right. Now we've seen a lot of these rumors come out of the woodworks, and you don't really know what's real, what's fake.
Right.
This guy seems like he's some credibility here.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we're going to be seeing the PSVR 2 hardware revealed for the very first time. Mm-hmm. We've seen the controllers, I believe, but now we're actually going to be seeing the headset. We're going to be seeing a Wipeout reboot announced, which makes sense because Wipeout is a game that you'd want on your PlayStation VR 2. Astrobot 2 is being rumored to be shown there as well, which again lines up with PSVR 2. Excellent franchise, by the way, the Astrobot series. And then also Sony will unveil their new AAA game, AAA Japan game studio. Mm-hmm. So whether that is a PSVR game or a regular game, we have no idea, but apparently it's a big deal. It's a brand new AAA studio. So what are your thoughts?
I am really taking this with a very large grain of salt.
Really? Even with the credibility?
Here's what doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not even saying that any of this stuff that could be announced in an event isn't true. That all sounds perfectly logical to me. What does not make a ton of sense to me is that usually PlayStation Experience is a fan event for Sony, for PlayStation, right? They normally have tons of people in attendance at it. So with the pandemic, things are not really shaping up that way, right? Most stuff has been virtual. We're very limited in person. This has been an event that's always been open to the public. You can buy tickets and go. It's always been kind of a PlayStation celebration, and I don't know if they would do that and not have some sort of in-person component, or rather have a more reduced in-person kind of component for it, because an event like this is expensive to put on, and I believe either Jim Ryan or Herman Hulst in the past has said that they're not doing these anymore because it's so expensive to do, and they don't make anything off of it. Now, from a fan's perspective, I'm like, you maybe monetarily you don't make a lot of money off of it, but it's good for your brand, right?
Yeah, you create buzz.
Yeah, it's good for positive word of mouth, but that's just where I kind of am taken back by this, where I'm like, would they really do an all type of virtual event for this? Maybe they would, and maybe it's more so just like another, PlayStation Experience type, or a you know what I mean, showcase type thing, rather than the full PSX type of.
And maybe it will be, We don't know, because this is a very up in the air. You're right. We're in COVID still. We might go into lockdown. We don't know. It's very, very possible that this does transform from a PlayStation Experience, a PSX, into a PlayStation Showcase. But Josh, I'm going to argue, though, in the past, we've had PlayStation Experience in movie theaters. Yeah. And we've, we have the potential here for a PlayStation Experience live in VR.
Damn, that's true.
Or a PSVR 2 reveal.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just of note, the last PSX event was not since 2018. Yeah. You make good points. I don't know.
I'm with you, and this could obviously shift and change. Things could get pushed back. Mm-hmm. But I'm on the side of the fence where I think this is all lines up with. Listen, he's not saying anything crazy here. He's saying that we're going to see the PlayStation VR 2, which we know is real.
Right, and
he said we're going to get a reboot, which we know is real.
Right,
Astrobot 2 is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
They just picked up Asobi,
mm-hmm.
and we know that they have a AAA game studio in Japan that they're going to announce.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's actually like making any outlandish claims. It's a matter of when this stuff gets announced. So if it's in December, that's great. If they have to delay it, that's fine. One more thing to note: PSVR was absent from PlayStation Showcase.
Right. Yeah, I think they're really going to wait until 6 to 12 months out of launch before they do anything for that. So that they're
how do you know that's not December?
It could be. I'm just saying that's. Yeah. I think the turnaround time from announcement to release of the second headset for PSVR is going to be short.
Yeah, I'm with you there for sure.
So,
yeah, that's all I got for that topic. Thanks to Air Radiant on Reddit.
Good stuff. All right, Brett. Our last main topic before we go to Indie Intel, something that I wanted to talk about, something that we've talked about on the channel before.
Bugsnax.
Talking about Bugsnax. So Young Horses, who is the developer of Bugsnax, has decided to move to a 4-day work week. This was originally reported by Axios, and I'm taking this information from VG21247, but basically Axios reported that Bugsnax developer Young Horses shifted to a 4-day work week in July of this last year. The team of 8 adjusted its workflow to accommodate 4-day, 32-hour work weeks to combat the need for crunching and to help the well-being of the team. This next quote comes from their co-founder and president, Phil Tibitoski. Quote, might as well give people the peace of mind that they can relax doing their own thing on their own time than have someone feel guilty for doing it at work. We know what we have to get done and when we have to get it done, or we're making our own schedule entirely, and things get done when they get done. End quote.
Interesting.
Thoughts, Brett?
I think this is a very interesting take, especially considering, all of the stuff that happened with Cyberpunk 2077 and CD Projekt Red with their crunch culture. Listen, 2 very different games, Bugsnax and Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
One is a much larger scale than the other. One is a lot smaller, but also one was a masterpiece and one was a broken mess. So
one is still a broken mess.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, this it seems like a very good thing. A lot of workplaces are doing stuff like this. They're letting people work remotely 100%. They're changing the amount of days in their work schedule. Listen, if you're getting the work done, who cares? If you have a happier, and this is tried and true, if you have a happier workforce, you're going to get a better product in the end.
I concur.
That's just how it is, man.
I concur. So I think, not just in the gaming industry, but the larger work pool as a whole, experimenting with reduced time in the office, reduced time at desks, and reduced days working, I think leads to better productivity. There are plenty of studies and data to support the fact that within any given workday, you are not actively proficient at working for 8 hours straight. You are not actively proficient at working for 7 hours straight. If you work for 4 hours straight, right? Like 4 hours in any given workday, you are just as productive as somebody that works for 8 hours straight. If you work constantly for 4 hours.
Yep.
So employers piloting and testing different ways to develop things and get their work done, I think is good. And having varied, in office, work from home, shorter work weeks, shorter work days, all that stuff is just going to lead to better products, especially when you are a creative. Because just like everybody else, you get tired, you get burnt out, you can't look at anything, and then you start to make mistakes or you start to produce subpar work. So,
yeah, absolutely.
That's all I have to say. Bravo on Young Horses for doing this. They're a great studio. They're a very small studio, which affords them probably more flexibility with that as well, I guess, to note. But great studio. They make great games. That's all I have to say.
Weenie worm.
Weenie worm.
All right, let's move on to our final topic of the day, Josh. Indie Intel. It's our segment where we like to take an indie game on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or just something we think looks slick, show it some love, try to get some eyes on it. Today, Josh, we have Poppy Playtime.
That's right.
Which is touted as a horror game that's actually got gameplay.
I like that.
It's an interesting little tagline there because a lot of these horror games are walking simulators where you literally just walk back and forth. And listen, not trying to rib on any games that we've played recently, but there were games that we played recently where you simply walk into a room, then walk back, and then you walk back, and you walk back, and you walk back, and you don't actually do anything. You pick something up, you write a letter to a demon, you slide it under the door, the demon writes back. You write on it again, you slide it under the door, the demon writes
really
back.
on the nose here.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm allowed to critique.
Absolutely.
And this is a game that's touting that they've actually got some gameplay. So I'll delve into a little bit more details here. Poppy Playtime is a single-player, first-person horror puzzle game, which is the best kind of game, being developed by Mob Games with Isaac Christopherson from St. Louis, Missouri as the game director.
Ooh, is this a first-time Missouri feature on Indie Intel? I believe it is.
I believe it is as well. They say about Poppy Playtime, you must stay alive in this unique horror puzzle adventure. Try to survive the vengeful toys waiting for you in the abandoned toy factory. Use your grab pack to hack electrical circuits or nab anything from afar.
That rhymes.
Explore the mysterious facility and don't get caught. So it's a horror game that takes place in a toy factory. Josh, I know you're a huge fan of Child's Play, ironically.
I am not a huge fan of Child's Play. That is a false statement. Dolls still scare me. Not like this, though.
Yeah.
This is like not animatronics, but well, okay. There's a doll behind me. I just lied.
Yeah.
So by the way, this right here is not good. This doll. So in their Kickstarter trailer, she dude, this is really, really not good. Ready? I'm gonna do a play-by-play for this. So here she's just looking at you, and then you scroll a little bit, and her eyes move just like a centimeter towards the camera. That's not good, folks.
It's not good. It's bad. It's scary.
All right, and there's no jump scare with it, nothing like that. So it's cool.
Yeah. It's got like a little bit of a Five Nights at Freddy's feel to it, but I do like the grab pack. Essentially, it's like two hands that you can extend out and grab things, and you're going to be using that to solve puzzles, grab things, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
The game is actually planned to have multiple chapters, so got a cohesive story here, releasing in chapters.
Yep.
Each chapter is going to release separately and is planned to cost $4.99, which is cheap.
Very cheap.
The game is currently on Steam, available for wish listing, and the Kickstarter is available now. They have like 20-something days left, and they've only raised $411 out of their goal, which is $45,000. So we really need some help with this one, guys. If you want Poppy Playtime to be a reality, you gotta back it on Kickstarter. The link is in our description.
That's right. And then wishlist on Steam too. Ignore my Alan Wake background. Yeah, I just want to make sure that the Steam store is indeed up, because I think it went up. Yeah, it is. Okay. Poppy Playtime. Make sure you wishlist it. I just added it to my wish list. And yeah, the game looks slick, cool. I like it. You have anything else you want to add, Brett?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, Brett.
Josh.
That's it.
I'm hot, my man.
That's for sure.
I'm hot. But what's even hotter? That merch, baby.
Oh.
That sweet, sweet merch.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in the hat that Josh is wearing or the shirt, stand up.
Stand up. Well,
a little bit. There you go.
A little bit.
You can buy this stuff. All right. Streamlabs.com/hapticintel. It's in our description. If you guys go right down below on YouTube, you can find it there. We have a lot of options. We have Japanese logo. We have a regular logo. We have variants. We have hats. We have beanies. We got it all. We keep it fairly cheap. We don't have a huge choice over the price. We basically make like $1 or $2 off of each purchase. So yeah, help us out. Buy some merch. It looks cool. I like it. I designed it. You're welcome.
All right.
There you go.
Well, yep. Thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you do that YouTube stuff, that Twitch stuff. You follow, you like, you subscribe, you comment, you share.
Yep.
You buy our merch.
Yep.
You share it. You like it. You comment it. You subscribe to it.
Yes.
You follow it.
Do it.
You support it. I think I got all that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for joining me, Brett. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Hapticast. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you do not miss an upload.